Welcome to the topic, Steps in the Planning Process. At the end of this video, you will be able to describe the different steps in planning. Formulating a good plan involves evaluating many variables such as awareness of opportunities, determining objectives, developing premises, identifying alternatives, evaluating the alternatives, choosing an alternative, creating plans, and qualifying plans by budgeting. Let us now learn more about the steps in planning. Being aware of opportunities. The first step in planning is being aware of the opportunities that exist. This can be done by understanding the customer's needs, market, competition, strengths and weaknesses by using a formal process called a SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunity and threat analysis. Establishing objectives. The second step in planning is to identify what is to be accomplished, by when and in which market segment it is to be accomplished. At the highest level, this is done through vision and mission statements. However, it also has to be done at business, department and project levels. For example, when Rocky decides to set up 100 outlets throughout the nation, it is said to be an objective. Developing premises. The third step in planning is determining the environment in which plans are to be operated. The external environment can be analyzed through a process called a PEST analysis: political, economic, social, and technological. The PEST framework helps to identify the external factors that could affect the plan. For example, developing premises at an area dominated by nuclear families would be advantageous to Shambhavi bakers, since most of nuclear families exhibit a greater tendency to eat out. Determining alternatives. The fourth step in planning is to evaluate and identify the most appropriate alternatives to accomplishing the organization's goals. This can be done through a framework called a TOWS matrix. Evaluating alternatives. The fifth step in planning is evaluating the alternative from the previous step to determine the alternative that will help achieve the goals at the optimal cost and profit while being sustainable. Selecting an alternative. The sixth step in planning is selecting the best alternative and starting to execute it in order to accomplish the goal. Formulating plans. The seventh step in planning is to develop plans based on the selected alternative. Plans should be made at all levels. For example, the buying of equipment, space, planning the type of HR, and so on. Qualifying plans by budgeting. The last step in planning is identifying the cost involved in executing the plans. Both capital and operational expenditure should be considered. Key points discussed in this video are: formulating a good plan involves evaluating many variables such as awareness of opportunities, determining objectives, developing premises, identifying alternatives, evaluating the alternatives, choosing an alternative, creating plans, and qualifying plans by budgeting.